Hi, it's Phil here. In this video we're going to be using Student Manager to prepare and check your data for the July ministry returns. First, you need to make sure you've got a current version of the software. Look up in the upper left hand side and the Student Manager version should begin with 13. If it doesn't, then you need to go to the MUSAC website, the downloads page, and download and update to the latest version. It's a good idea to update to the latest version anyway, so you may want to do this as well. Once you're ready to go, click on the MOE Returns button. And here we have a number of buttons down the left hand side. We're going to check our data, so let's click on Validate. And here, make sure under which returns July is ticked. The active database is CM, the main database. Don't worry about the Levers database entry. On the upper right hand side, if your school has an MOE approved enrolment scheme, click on Yes and then add the date that that was approved from. Below this we need to indicate what to do when unusual data is found. For now, put the dot into print only those with errors. We can now click Validate Data. It's found 3 errors and no warnings, so we'll click OK and we'll get a preview of those errors. We could print this out or make a note of it if there's not too many. In this case we have a funding year level 5 does not correspond with age, and the age is 13. This seems a bit old for a contributing school, so we've probably got a problem with the date of birth field. The next student has an issue with their first attendance date, so we need to look at that on the ministry details page for that student. And then the third student is missing the iwi code. They have Maori ethnicity, but the iwi code is missing, and that's compulsory, so we need to go and add that back in. Let's close this page and then we can go and edit those errors. On the first student, we go to the date of birth field. In this case it's on the right hand side of the screen, but yours may be customized and it's somewhere else. Click in there and edit to the value that it should be. It's saving as you go, so you can now move to the next student. And we need to go to the ministry details page. This was the problem with the date started any school, and we can see it's higher than the date started this school, so we need to edit that to be what it should. Our third student was missing their iwi value, their Maori ethnicity, so we need to add iwi into here, and there we go. That's fixed up all of those errors. We can now close the screen, go back to the ministry returns page, and this time, because we've got rid of all the errors, we can go to Prepare MOE Data File. This does a check as well, but it creates a file. From there we can print our ministry returns tables and check the statistics. Again, make sure it's on July for which returns, CM the main database, enrolment scheme details, what we want to do with any unusual data, and then we can click Prepare MOE Returns File. If it comes up with this message, just click Yes. No errors or warnings, so we can now go and print our tables and check the data in there. Click OK. Briefly see that a file is being created. And now we can go to the third button, Print MOE Returns. And here, again, make sure it's on July. Include our logo if you like. Tick all of the tables because we want to check all of them for data. And then go Proceed to Print. Again, a reminder, this can be done well before July returns are due, and it saves that rush on and after the day. Click Proceed to Print. After a few seconds you may get a pop-up. Click OK on that, and then you'll see the progress of the tables being created by the software. Very shortly you'll get a preview of the first table. You should always print these out and have a good look through and check that the data is what you expect. If you do need to make a change to your data, then you need to go back to Prepare MOE Data File before you print those returns again. Remember, the data is coming from a file that's been created by the second button routine, and so just reprinting the tables will get no change. This can be done as many times as you like until you get the data as you expect it to be. You should also go to Print MOE Audit List. And here you can print the full school, which is alphabetical and has a number of details that can be used as a checklist as you're going through your data. Make sure you shift the dot to July and then print that out. You also can print out by classes. The third choice is the usual one for intermediate and primary schools. So let's select that and click Print Audit List. After a few seconds, each class list will pop up. You can move through the previews. Left hand side is the students and some details, and the right hand side is where your teachers will enter the attendance for the 3 roll count days, the 28th of June and the 1st and 2nd of July. So again, you can print this beforehand for them to check, but they need to be ready to go for the 28th of June. Once these have all been done, and it's after the 1st of July, you can then send off your file electronically to the ministry. So you've printed all your tables, you're sure they're accurate, you can then go down to the second last button, MUSAC Electronic Roll Return. And here you can check the connectivity to make sure the file's going to go through. You may require to do some firewall settings or something like that. Check with your technician on this one. But once you're ready to go, tables are accurate, you can click submit.moe file to the ministry, and that'll be sent off to the ministry at that point. For more details on the July roll returns process, there's a printout you can get from our files on our website.